great matches, and that was a 27 minutes win for Feng Yanzhe and Huang Dongping. Up next is Liu Shengxu and Tan Ning, one of the most informed women's doubles pairs. The number 2 seeds taking on Yeung Na-ting and Yeung Hui-lam from Hong Kong. Now this is actually section 4 of the draw. As you can see in this section, Zhong and Kim, Matsuyama and Shida up at the top. And now we know the opponent that will play the winner of this match, Liu Shengxu and Tan Ning, which was of course Li Yijing and Luo Zhumin, who we watched put on a brilliant performance earlier to claim their quarterfinal berth. Here they come. Lian Yeung against, well, in my view, one of the most impressive combinations in Shengxu and Tan Ning. They've been so pivotal for China in various competitions over the last year. I can remember the Sudirman Cup especially, where they really put in an amazing performance to pick up gold. And when you look at their ages, which is literally 20 years old, and the heights that they've already scaled, silver medalists at the Olympics, well, who knows where their career could go. Funnily enough, it's just a 1-0 head-to-head lead for Liu Shengxu and Tan Ning, and that was at the Paris Olympics, the group stage.
Black for you. Black. Hui-lam serve. Receive. Liu. Side.
Well, this is going to be a tough ask for Yeung and Yeung. But they did put in a tempered, measured, and composed performance yesterday. That was again against none other than Su Yinhui, who we just saw. 22 years old in Hui-lam. Ranked 16, has been as high as 12. And that was back in August of 2024. But yes, they did play well against the Chinese Taipei pair. But this is going to be a much tougher ask against much stiffer opposition. It's in their year so far. It's, well, it was the Olympic group, 3rd in Australia, quarterfinalists in Germany and India. That was their first tournament result, as we said. Su Yinhui and Min Ji. Tan Ning, there you go, 21 years old, ranked 3rd in the world, highest ranking 3rd, Olympic silver medalist, gold medalist, everywhere else. When it comes down to talent, you really can't get much more than these two. Gold medalist at the Uber Cup, Sudirman Cup, double gold medalist at the World Junior Championships, and that's just legacy. I mean, excuse me, but I'm actually choking on their success.
At the Uber Cup, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. But they were quarterfinalists here last year, 2nd in Hong Kong just last week. They won Japan, of course, runner-up in the Olympics, and also 2nd at the BAC, Singapore Open, the Indonesian Open, the French Open. It's been a fantastic run for them this year.
Ready to play?
And again, just 20 and 21 years old. That's the real surprise of it all.
Yeah. given also what we just saw in matches 2 matches ago, then the women's double situation in China looks really healthy.
Very healthy indeed. I think that's an understatement. It looks like they might just be dominating everything. This is the first time that China have got all the major cups anyway, and with such a young squad. Well, let's see what this pair from Hong Kong can do.
Yeah, it's sort of with the new squad that they've got.
Yeah,
the cups.
That's right. So it is looking, you know, well, for everybody else, pretty concerning for the next 10 years as to Chinese dominance in badminton.
On my right, Hong Kong, Hong Kong, China. And on my left, Yeung and Tan Ning, Hong Kong, China. Yong Hui Lam to serve to Yeung. No ball. Play.
My apologies to Jess Chan and Seamus Halpin for not introducing them. That's Jess Chan in the umpire's chair, Seamus Halpin in the service judge position.
Over. 1. Love.
A flicked ace. It's the second point.
Out. It's over. 1, 2.
Back.
Powerful up against the drift by Liu Xiangshu.
Well, I'm guessing this pair has got the skill set to adapt to the drift either side as well, and pretty quickly. So really, all eyes are on Yeung and Hui Lam. How are they going to combat this? That's very nice.
Yeah, and the thing is that the Hong Kong pair, compared to a match played in lesser drifty conditions, now in the first game here, they get help in their attack.
Right. An extra little boost.
And also a bit of help in their defense. I think normally their defense would be challenged against Liu Xiangshu and Tan Ning. These two helps are going to be reversed when they change ends.
Oh, that was called in. Looked like it was just out from up here. Of course, a little bit of parallax from up here, so not be 100% sure, even though we do have a good read on it. Yeah, challenge coming.
I can't see the back line from here. It's exactly the top of the tape. The white tape is blocking the back line.
There are a few things, obstacles in the way from a very high concrete position. That is out.
Yeah.
So, Sheng Shu, I think, was needed to call it. Done well there. Oh, the 5-2 up with 2 minutes played.
First one was good from Liu Xiangshu, stepping forward, but the second one, one lacked quality.
Well, we were talking yesterday, Steen, about the difference or the very grey area between unforced and forced errors. And Liu and Tan are the kind of pair that will force you into errors.
Yeah, and also forced errors are relatively easy to see. It's the ones that go down as unforced errors but are mentally forced errors, and the level of strength, physical strength with Tan Ning and Liu Xiangshu is definitely, in my opinion, forcing some errors that normally
things,
could go down as unforced errors, but that's because you know you have to play in a certain way to avoid being punished by your opponents.
They are pretty forceful in their attack.
Excellent play.
Don't give up. Well, that's great from Yeung. That's great from Yeung and Yeung.
And one of the things that the Hong Kong pair hopefully have done is that they've hopefully rewatched the final from Hong Kong Open where Tan and Tina got the better of Liu and Tan, and looked at what was actually working, and taking some tips from that situation. And it is to be on attack, but to be in balance all the time. You cannot afford to lose your balance and then be super active on the front court.
I noticed that Wong Chun Han, the singles coach, has joined the doubles coaching staff. He's sitting there. A Malaysian singles player. Done very well with the singles crop of Yu Chek-yoon and Ka Long.
Yeah, and I think it's Flandy Limpele.
Yeah, that's right.
He's coaching the women's doubles here. I think he's more specialized in mixed doubles, but I mean, pretty much every coach can coach all disciplines depending on. Of course, if you're totally specialized, you've got a deeper insight into your own category. But
well, Vita Marissa this morning for Dejan Ferdinand and Gloria Wajaja was joined by Hendra Setiawan.
Yeah?
It was an absolutely fantastic combination of ex-players to have in your coaching corner. And Hendra was getting stuck in as well. He looked like a really good coach. It's the first time I've actually seen him, you know, moving in and giving his opinions. So he would talk to Dejan, and Vita would talk to Gloria.
Yeah.
And they put in a very powerful performance in the third. Made it through to the quarterfinals.
Both Setiawan and Hassan, as well as Dejan Ferdinand and Gloria Vijaya, are playing as independent players in Indonesia, and I guess that creates some kind of brotherhood between them.
Yeah. Well, it did work well for them. So Gloria Wajaja especially stepped up her game. Was really killing things off in the net. Now, meanwhile, on court one, it's a very close 2-point lead for Liu and Tan. Yeung and Yeung have been making themselves as difficult opponents as possible. Haven't really been
that's a
winning
good serve.
That's nice.
8, 9.
I wonder if there's some Olympic blues kicking in with
That's a good
Liu
term.
and Tan.
That's a great term, Olympic blues.
Yeah. Been chasing that Olympic qualification since they partnered, and as you mentioned in the opening, have done so well over the past 1.5 years.
There has to be a
So at some point,
shadow, yeah.
you're sort of like
What else
playing,
is there to get?
but perhaps not in the early rounds, fully connected with your brain and your heart. If you're playing by instinct, more or less.
Yeah, because you just won too much too early.
Yeah, or need some extra spice to really get fired up.
Well, I guess that's
at this stage of the career, where we're still only 5 weeks, 6 weeks past the Olympics.
I guess that's what's going to be affecting An Se-young as well. 22 years old, world #1 got, Olympic gold got, and, you know, titles got, Super 1000s got.
Yeah, but there's also some other stuff affecting
As we know,
that's a different story.
So, 11-9 at the break, a lot closer than a lot of people would have said. There is one
And the front don't going with the power. And so you may get point more aggressive. So return service will be patient. He just influence and then waiting next. Front, active, okay?
So back on court, and certainly a very active Hong Kong camp.
Yeah, and I think we perhaps got a little bit of the explanation
11-9.
of Wong Chun-han's presence here. I think Wong speaks Chinese, whilst I'm not sure. Flandilin Pele
Ah, right. Yes, indeed he does.
speaks Chinese. As far as I could hear, he was speaking in English.
And this is a very important match for them. So I guess having double coaching, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, but I think also the coaches sense that there's a chance as
Yeah. Especially after the Hong Kong Open final defeat, as you said.
yeah.
Well, it would certainly create headlines.
Court.
Oi.
13-9.
They haven't been behind yet, Liu and Tan, but
He touched that one. That's one. There was a fault called. Why?
I don't think so, but I guess, yeah. Big power from Yeung. Back. Lam steps in.
Good play. Excellent
Great
play. Ting finishing it off.
Combined power moving ahead.
Yeah.
What it's about. So 10-13. This serve, if successful.
Service fault call.
Oh well.
Too high.
Too high it was.
Service over.
Never really got off the ground. Or I guess you could say it got off the ground too much. 14-10.
Oi. Attempted drive serve. Oi.
I wanted to change the racket, I think. Decided against it. Playing with, I'm guessing, a broken string ever since.
Where was she going there? She was
No
overcovering
idea where she was going.
the net post.
11.
She was, well, if we look at it here, I mean, her movement was more than erratic. It's,
Yeah.
Look, it's all over the
She
place.
tried to get
It's
away.
There. Then she comes back in. And yes, off, you know.
11-14.
It was like she expected the service judge to have a spare racket for her.
I don't know.
But-
And then
but did
she
she
never
change
actually, she didn't change it in the end.
No, so it hasn't been. It wasn't broken. She was just escaping the wild racket swings from Yeung Ting, where she was about to get hit in the
that's a good shot.
in the head.
That might be it. The enthusiasm of it, the exuberance
Yeah.
of it all. Biggest match for them this week for sure. And they're still 2 points back. They haven't led yet in this first game, but they've certainly kept pace with the scoreline.
Good flat push.
Now, whether that chasing the scoreline is in any way worried Liu Shengshu and Tan
Wide.
Ning, we'll have to wait and see. That is right, yeah.
Standing challengers called out.
Now, she's going to be lucky if that's in. Did get a good view of that. Have to be literally clipping the edge of the line. No, not this time.
Way
Challenge
wide.
unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
Sort of the intensity is significantly higher with the Hong Kong pair at the moment. There's a problem with the scoreboard.
Oh, yes.
It should be, what should it be? 14 all? 13, 14.
13, 14,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what it should be, yeah. They certainly weren't going to tie it up.
13, 14.
Good attention to detail from Hui Lam. They're fighting for each of these points, as you can imagine. And they are keeping it close. Now, whether they can get in the lead. That's very wide.
It's on the blue carpet. Always change your racket after you've hit the blue carpet. Pretending that something's wrong with the grip.
And have a look at the lights as well, because the other thing that people do.
That's mandatory.
That's what Ferdinand was doing this morning. Well, there are some really fascinating matchups right now at the Changzhou Olympic Sports Center. Uli Jakobsen, the victor of Tai Tzu-Ying in the first round, taking on Tomoka Miyazaki. 1 game down to Miyazaki. And Weng Hongyang taking on Cho Tien-Chen in court 2.
Landing knew exactly how that should have been played there. You can see that from the coaches. Yeah, that's how we coaches are. We always have a better option if we lost. If the players have lost.
Still keeping within 2 points. Has this rattled Liu and Tan in any way? We've yet to see.
No, it hasn't. They're just playing it steady. But the thing here is that normally I think Yeung and Yeung, they would lose the flat game against Tan and Liu. But here the drift helps them most of the time. All right. She's struggling with the serve. Yeung Natsing.
Yes, she certainly is. In fact, she was struggling with a couple of shots, not just the serve. You're going to have to watch that. So 17-14. This is actually the biggest lead that they've had in the first game. Equals to 5-2 from earlier. That's somehow gone out. I can't really tell you what Tan Ning was doing around that shuttle, as you'll see here.
Let's see if it hits her shoe. I think it does.
Oh, it does. That is a fault. That is technically a fault. Believe it or not, it can hit your shoe. It can even hit your ponytail. I've heard that. I've seen that before.
Well, not mine.
It's not mine either. Can, and that technically is a fault. So very lucky.
Defense.
It's gone wide.
Yeah, the right idea. This is going to be, if they lose this first game, Yeung and Yeung, which I probably think they are, it's going to be a missed opportunities. She's calling for medical timeouts.
Well. Yep, looks like the foot and magic spray on the way. Second time we've seen it today. Sung Sho Yun in the singles also brought the spray out. That was for a hamstring. Just enough. Can't put too much of that stuff on. And in fact, there have been occasions where the doctor actually says you're not allowed to have any more spray.
Yeah, I think that's what Ivanka Pokorny
right, we're saying exactly.
Is
that's your fill of
saying that there will be no more applying of cold spray to Yeung.
Magic is a very revered commodity, and you can't have too much of it.
You can see this is strapping on.
Oh yeah, on the ankle. That's right.
Pictures there.
So, Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning having to wait a bit longer. 3 points ahead in this first game. That's the maximum they have been ahead. As you said, Steen, they're looking unruffled. Just having to play a little bit more difficult game than they would have expected. Long. Back to the coaches, it's 19-15. velocity to the body, center mass.
16, 19.
Marksman grade. But on the brink still, and facing Yeung's serve, which she kills nicely into the corner.
17, 19.
Well, I think they're going to lose this first game, but I think there's a lot they can take from it. The manner of the loss.
Who knows? We've seen stranger things than
Exactly, yep.
bigger
comebacks.
Too high.
too high.
Sober.
Would also have gone wide of the middle line, but obviously Tan-Ning chose to play it. But hit above 115 centimeters. Second service fault called on Yeung in this game here, and that's pretty much the difference.
3 game points. Line exchange. Ooh, late pick up there by Sheng Shu. Tan-Ning with a nice touch at the front. And nice
Fantastic play by
Hui Lam.
the Hong Kong pair.
Hui Lam with the decisive shot in the end. Now, can they, as you said it earlier, if it's 2 points, luck can come into it.
Brilliant interception.
Can they get themselves extra points? Let's find out.
Wide.
So 21-18 in the first. You were absolutely spot on, Steen. That's why Wang Chunhan is there, almost as an advanced and very skillful translator.
It's just so much easier to coach if you speak in your first language. If you speak in second language, it's more difficult. Sometimes you speak through a third language.
Yeah.
Which
there
sometimes is English, but if it's not the native language for either the coaches or the players, then a lot can get lost in translation.
There is that interesting situation for the Thai singles coach, Kim Hyun from Korea,
who has apparently just resigned.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. She's
I don't
one of the most passionate coaches around.
Yeah, but there was some personal health
Oh,
problems,
no way.
as far as I've seen it.
We do wish her the best.
But yes, she's coaching in English. The Thai players.
That is a shame. She was doing really well with the likes of Sudirman and Pornpui.
Sudirman, Pornpui is having her personal coach, Vilalak, that she's been working with for
You're right.
many years.
I've never actually seen it with Pornpui.
No,
I've
exactly.
only seen it with Sudirman.
Sometimes perhaps in the Uber Cup where the whole Thai team is together, but there's a couple of fractions. Yeah, Busanan she's coached.
So, into the second game, 1-all, and let's see if Yeung and Yeung have learnt from that first game. Of course, now playing on the other side of the court. So, as you can see, right with that shot, Cheng Shu and Tan Ning.
And again, you can see very animated coaches on the chair, Flandy, Limpela and Wong Chung Han. And they still think that there's a good chance here. And we saw the women's double with Tan and Tina and saw what the Chinese pair, Li Ying and Lu Shumin, did to them on the far side of the court. And that was playing flat and moving forward. So,
as you said at the time, that was an example.
Yeah, let's see if Yeung and Yeung are trying to copy some of that. They'll take that, says Lu Sheng Shu.
Yeah, she has a knack of doing that, Lu Sheng Shu. Stopping point runs forcefully. So 3-all.
Was there to close it down. Tan Ning had to come over. They are on to the right plan. Martin and Huy Lam.
Certainly the scoreline suggests that. That's what it's all about in the end.
And even with the right plan, it's still going to be difficult to carry it out.
Well, there's plans and then there's executing them. And I think everybody has the former, but only a few can do the latter.
Who was it that said all your previous plans go down the drain the first time you get punched in the face?
Mike Tyson said that, basically, and he was right. He's always been right. That's actually, settle down in sports is one of the best comments. All your plans go out the window when you get punched in the face.
Too high lift.
Oh, nice drop in.
It's over. 5-4.
They took their own little break here after 9 points to discuss with the coaches. Umpire.
Well, 5-4. Very close indeed. Much closer than the first game. Certainly working that other side for Yeung and Yeung.
Could be a similar scoreline to when they played in the Olympics. It was 18 and 15, so on the only previous encounter.
Well, they're pushing forward,
Yeah,
the Hong Kong pair.
taking the chances.
And that's also gone long. So this is the first time they've been 2 points ahead. Hard work and graft paying off.
Misjudgment by Liu Shangshu. We've seen that over the first couple of days of tournament action, that you really can push some of your shots from the far side here.
Yeah.
they still stay in. It wasn't even on the line at service or touching the line. Wide.
Challenge coming, but very odd challenge. That looked clearly out.
I think there's a slight chance for Liu and Tan, but now it's also getting evaluated on the back line. Of course, it has to be inside of both lines.
Yeah.
I wonder what Hawkeye is coming up with.
No, that's out.
Line judges got it absolutely correct.
One challenge remaining.
So this is now the biggest lead that Yeung have had, and also, of course, the biggest deficit
Play.
that Liu and Tan have had. Plan seems to be working so far. Tell you one thing though, if their plan works, this is going to be one long match.
6, 8.
So there was one more reason that both Flandin Pela and Wang Chunhan was sitting there in the coaching chairs, because now Flandin Pela has left, not the building but the coaching chair, and gone to attend the match with Tan Chunman and Singing Sweat. So because
Double
two
Hong Kong
matches.
representation, yes.
Good play.
Well, they've certainly spun the plate over here and got this one going.
9, 6.
So it's understandable that they would.
Again, the intensity is different.
Yeah.
They had good intensity in the first game as well, but not enough to capitalize on it. But here it's brought them a 3-point advantage.
And they would love to go into that mid-game interval. Not just only up, but up by 3 or 4 points.
6.
It just seems to me that Liu and Tan might be looking a little bit more reactive than proactive now.
Yeah. Good flat.
Lam again. Scared of reaction, runs off. I'm noticing when she does that, they lose the point. You'll see it here. There she's off, and then they lose the point.
Can also be confusion about the tactics. Where is it that I'm going to position myself here?
Well,
that's what you got to evaluate all the time when you're playing for us, watching the matches. It looks like it's just
exactly
a piece of cake, but they've got to read the situation and position themselves accordingly. So
fears are subjective as well. You never know what is going to scare somebody.
Deception. Wow.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that might be a bit too big.
It's a good rally. Oi, net great. Oi. Then the last one.
So 8-9.
8, 9.
That might be the best rally that we've seen so far in the match. Oh, nice little bounce off the net. Intended or otherwise. It did the business. And that's drawn them level at 9. So, no mid-game interval joy so far for Yeung and Yeung.
Super. It's like they've upped the intensity a little bit, the Chinese pair. 4 straight points.
Yeah, they have, certainly. And I think they have an auto safety catch when they go 3 points behind.
Yeah.
That immediately switches on.
The alarm switches on.
Yeah, and then they move into a third gear. And again, there you go, 11-9. This is why their win rate is so high. They can move and adapt. So back on court, and come on, we can credit Yeung and Yeung for a pretty good game plan. It's crunch time now. They have to deliver, and they have to deliver right now. So 12-9, closing in on that quarterfinal appearance.
Pictures from the back line there.
A 9th quarterfinal for Liu Chengshu and Tan Ning if they can make it. That's wonderful. That's great coverage.
Super close to the net there, both Lam and Nating.
Well, we saw the situation in the first game, being 2 points behind, and they shadowed Liu and Tan all the way to the end.
I'm reasonably certain that Liu and Tan is going to win this match here, but it's
a tougher climb than they would have expected.
Yeah,
or a lot of people would have
because
expected.
they're a little bit down in terms of intensity and concentration. But it's a good
Wake-up
match.
call, right?
It's a good match to practice on, because if the opponents are a little bit stronger than Yeung and Yeung, for instance, someone like Tan and Tina, then they might be in trouble. And we saw that last week in Hong Kong, that all of a sudden the attention level is a little bit too low, and this is a good practice in terms of playing in drift.
Well, you can be certain that having lost that Hong Kong Open final, that they're going to want to win and win big here. And they don't. Well, they're not particularly bothered if it's a 750 or a Super 1000. They have the quality to win both. Lam, did she take a fall there? Oh, she took a fall, but I think it's all right. I think it's more of a moisture on the court situation rather than any kind of injury. Remember, she did have some magic spray earlier on. Seems to have worked just fine. As it does.
14 and
at the net there.
Yeah.
On the Hong Kong side, they were lining up to kill that one, and both of them missed it.
So 15-10, and as you said, it looks more and more, as it does with Liu and Tan, that the probability starts turning their way.
10 of the last 11 points to the Olympic silver medalists, so they've sort of
Huge turnaround, yeah.
kicked it up a gear.
Combination. That's almost one mind and two bodies. Both of them on exactly the same wavelength, moving from left to right. One with the setup and the other one with the kill.
Good shot.
Oh, what a wonderful little drop in by Liu Shengshu. They have moved into an extra gear, as you said.
And the cross court smash from Tan Ning set it all up,
And they
followed
have
by a
just
great block.
cemented Yeung and Yeung at 10 points. They've literally not allowed them to move off that 10th point. The accuracy is better, but combinations are better. Variation in power. Great rally.
Good play.
It's over. 11, 18.
Well, a brief respite from this barrage of points that they're facing. They have to serve at 11-18. And I guess the only option here, Steen, is for them to move into an extra gear themselves. Now, do they have that extra gear?
No.
Simple answer to a pretty simple question. There you go, and that's what it's all about. So they can try, but
They can try, and
They
they're
can
going to
try,
try,
they will,
but I
but-
don't think they have it.
it's also the mistakes. 3 mistakes and it's all over. And
Yeah,
I can't see them being 100% flawless from
If they
here.
have it, they would have used it by now.
That's for sure, yeah. Mistake there. It's going to help them out, but I can't see Liu and Tan making 7 mistakes from here. And I also can't see Yeung and Yeung not making 3 mistakes. And that is a far more negative and passive way of looking at it, but it's the truth. Oh, that's a long serve.
It's over. 19.
Almost credit to the point there, but now they gain 2 points. It went up, the scoreboard went up to 13-18. It was quickly corrected. 19-12 it is. Liu Shengshu with the big power at the back. There's a mistake. So it is 8 match points at just 42 minutes on the clock. And that's it, 21-12, 42 minutes. And they are through to the quarterfinals after a slightly tested first game, but showed their prowess and their ability to step through into a different gear for the second game, where Yeung and Yeung really were watching for the rest of that. And let's see whether they can make it to the final. But after that Hong Kong Open final, I'm sure they're going to be looking for more success. They don't look too happy with each other, actually, to be honest. And that's a corset that's come off as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, got to take your bag out when you leave. There's the last point. Very reminiscent of the second half of the second game. And that brings an end to that. So, Steen, I'm going to leave you in the more than capable hands of Jill Clark. I will see you for the quarterfinals tomorrow.
That's right.
And right now, as I said, here's confirmation of Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning's wonderful run. 21-18, 21-12 in 43 minutes.